I always thought my life with Ava was solid, something I could trust without looking over my shoulder. I supported her late nights, her CEO dreams, and every plan she made for our future. So when I walked into our apartment that night, I wasn't ready for what I heard. "Ava, are you home?" I called, dropping my keys. No answer. Then I heard her voice from the study, low and soft. "He's nothing compared to you, you're the man I should be marrying." My heart froze. I stepped closer, telling myself I was misunderstanding everything, but her words kept cutting deeper. I pushed the door slightly. She wasn't alone. Ethan Crawford stood near her desk, leaning in like he already owned the room. "Ava," I said, my voice shaking, "what exactly is this?" She jumped back, eyes wide, but Ethan didn't flinch. He just smirked at me like he'd been expecting this moment. "Ava, talk to me," I said. "Tell me what's going on." She sighed and looked away. "Oliver, you weren't supposed to hear that." Ethan cut in. "She's finally being honest. You should respect that." I glared at him. "I wasn't asking you." Ava whispered, "We want different lives, Oliver." Different lives. The words echoed like a punch. "So this is what you want?" Him. Ava rubbed her forehead. "Ethan understands my world. You don't." I felt something crack inside me. "I stood by you through everything. Does that mean nothing?" Ethan laughed softly. "Loyalty doesn't equal compatibility, mate." I stepped closer, ignoring him. "Ava, look at me. Just tell me the truth. Did you ever plan to marry me?" She hesitated, and that hesitation hurt more than any answer. "I cared about you," she said quietly, "but this feels right." I felt the ground slipping under my feet. "So I was just a placeholder?" I asked. Ava winced. "Don't say it like that." Ethan crossed his arms. "It's exactly like that. She deserves someone driven." I snapped, "Stay out of this." My chest felt tight, but I forced myself to breathe. "Ava, is this really how you see me?" She nodded slowly. "Oliver, you're kind, but you don't push yourself." That hurt more than betrayal. "So kindness is a weakness now?" Ethan scoffed. "In her world, yes." I ignored him again. "Ava, I loved you. I planned a life with you." She whispered, "I know. And I'm sorry." Her apology felt empty. "You didn't just break us," I said. "You broke me." Ethan stepped forward. "Enough drama." She made her choice. I stared at him. "I hope you're ready to live up to every word you sold her." Ava whispered, "Oliver, please don't make this harder." Harder? I laughed bitterly. "You destroyed our engagement, Ava. I don't think it gets harder than this." She wiped her eyes. "I didn't want you to find out like this." Ethan added, "But now you know." I clenched my fists, feeling humiliation burning through me. "Yeah. Now I know everything." I took off the ring she once begged me to choose. "Here. Take it," I said. Ava stared at it but didn't reach out. "Oliver," I shook my head. "Save it. Whatever we were, it's gone." Ethan muttered, "Good decision." I ignored him and stepped toward the door, feeling numb. Ava whispered, "Please don't hate me." I paused but didn't turn around. "I don't hate you," I said. "I just don't know who you are anymore." The room fell silent. My chest felt hollow, but I forced myself to keep walking. Staying any longer would have shattered me completely. As I stepped into the hallway, everything hit me at once. The betrayal, the shame, the shock of realizing the person I loved had already replaced me. My hands shook, but I held myself together. "You're stronger than this," I whispered, though I barely believed it. I kept walking anyway. By the time I reached the elevator, I felt broken in ways I couldn't describe. But beneath the pain was something else, a silent promise forming inside me. "This is my breaking point," I whispered. "But it won't be my ending." And as the doors closed, I let myself finally breathe. I didn't sleep after leaving Ava and Ethan standing together. My mind kept replaying her words, her tone, Ethan's smirk. By morning, I couldn't take the silence anymore. I needed answers, or maybe I just needed someone to tell me I wasn't crazy for feeling destroyed. So I went to the Hartley penthouse. The moment Lily opened the door, her eyes widened. "Oliver, you look awful. What happened?" "You already know," I said. "Don't pretend you don't." She froze. "Oliver, please. Did you know about Ava and Ethan?" I asked. My voice cracked and I hated how weak I sounded. Lily swallowed hard. "It wasn't my place to." "So you did know." I stepped inside before she could stop me. "How long? A week? A month? Longer?" "Oliver, it wasn't like that," she whispered. Ava was confused. Confused? I laughed bitterly. Is that what we're calling cheating now? Before she could answer, Grace walked into the room. Oliver? What are you doing here? I'm here, I said, to figure out why everyone in Ava's life knew she was replacing me except me. Grace's face crumpled. She told you? I caught her, I corrected. Phone call. Ethan. Compliments. Plans. Everything. Lily covered her mouth. Oh God. I shook my head. Don't act shocked. You both knew. Grace stepped closer. Oliver, we tried talking to her. She wouldn't listen. Tried. I repeated. Did either of you tell me what was happening? Lily whispered, we thought she'd change her mind. That doesn't make it better. Grace sighed. She said you were too safe. What does that even mean? I asked. Lily hesitated, then murmured, she said you were too simple. Not ambitious enough. That Ethan fit her world better. The words hit me like a punch. Simple, I repeated slowly. Is that all I was to her? Grace shook her head urgently. Oliver, that wasn't fair. You were always there for her. You supported her. You loved her. I told her that. Yeah. I asked. And what did she say? Lily looked away, but Grace answered honestly. She said love isn't enough. I closed my eyes. Hearing it from Ava was one thing. Hearing it from the people who watched her choose Ethan made it worse. So I was a placeholder, I whispered. Just someone to fill the space until she found someone louder. Grace reached for my arm. Oliver. I pulled back. Don't. Please. Lily whispered, Ava was wrong. Really? I asked. Because she looked pretty sure last night. Ethan looked sure too. Grace sighed. Ethan's flashy. He knows how to get into people's heads. He convinced her she deserved more. And none of you thought I deserved to know? I asked. The anger in my voice surprised even me. Lily whispered, I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't undo anything, I muttered. It doesn't fix the fact I was planning a wedding with someone who already replaced me. Grace looked pained. Oliver, she did love you. We saw it. Then why wasn't it enough? I asked. Neither of them answered. The silence between us grew heavy. I looked around the penthouse. Expensive, perfect, spotless. The same place Ava and I planned to celebrate our engagement. Now it felt like a museum of lies. I reached into my pocket and pulled out the engagement ring. It still felt warm from the night before. I brought this back, I said quietly. I don't want it. Lily's eyes filled with tears. Do you want me to give it to her? No, I said. Let her have her new perfect match. Let him buy her a new one. Grace whispered, Oliver, don't let this break you. It already did, I said softly. But maybe that's the point. Lily stepped toward me. You're a good man. She'll regret this. I don't need her regret, I replied. I just need to stop feeling like I was never enough. Neither woman spoke. Their silence told me everything. They had seen this coming and I was the only one blind to it. I headed for the door. Grace called after me, Oliver, please don't disappear. We care about you. I didn't look back. If you cared, I said, one of you would have told me the truth. I walked out of the penthouse feeling hollow, but something new stirred under the pain. Anger. Cold, sharp anger. The kind that forces you to rise even when you're shattered. I stared at the ring in my palm for a long time before I finally went back to Ava's place. I didn't want to see her, didn't want to hear her voice, but I needed to end things with my own words, not the ones she left hanging in the air. When she opened the door, her expression didn't show guilt, just annoyance. Oh, she said. You're back. Yeah, I answered. I need to return something. Ethan appeared behind her, leaning against the wall like he owned the doorway. Didn't expect you to come again, he said. Most guys disappear after being replaced. I ignored him and looked at Ava. Can we talk? She crossed her arms. If you're here to convince me I made the wrong choice, don't. I'm not changing my mind. I'm not here for that, I said. I'm here to give you this. I placed the ring in her hand. She didn't even look down at it. That's it? She asked. You came all the way here just for that? Yes, I said. It felt wrong keeping something that belonged to someone else's future. Ethan smirked. Good. She deserves someone on her level. Those words flicked a switch inside me. Something tight snapped clean. On her level, I repeated quietly. Right. Ava tilted her head. Oliver, don't start. Start what? I asked. You already ended everything. Ethan stepped forward. You should be grateful she didn't drag this out. I turned to him. I'm grateful for one thing, you showed me exactly who she is. Ava frowned. Don't talk like that. How should I talk? I asked. Like someone who's been lied to for months? Ethan scoffed. Drama. Truth, I corrected. Ava sighed. We're all adults here. There's no need to get emotional. I laughed. You cheated on me emotionally for God knows how long, and you want me to be calm? She lifted her chin. I followed my heart. No, I said, you followed ambition. There's a difference. Ethan rolled his eyes. Are we done here? Almost, I said. I looked at Ava one last time. May your perfect match give you everything I wasn't, including a conscience. For the first time her face twitched. Just a second, shock, maybe guilt, but she hid it fast behind pride. Goodbye, Oliver, she said. Goodbye, I whispered, then walked away without looking back. I didn't want to see either of them again. As soon as I stepped outside, the air hit me like a cold wave. My hands shook. Part anger, part relief. I called the one person I knew wouldn't judge me, Marcus. He picked up on the second ring. Yo, Ollie? You sound wrecked. What happened? Everything, I muttered. Ava, she cheated. Emotionally. Maybe more. Silence. Then Marcus said, Where are you? Outside her place. Stay there, he said. I'm coming. 10 minutes later his car pulled up and he jumped out. Damn man, he said, pulling me into a hug. Tell me everything. I leaned against his car. It was Ethan Crawford. She said we wanted different lives. Everyone knew but me. Marcus clenched his jaw. She said that to you? Yeah. And you didn't punch the guy? No, I said. I just walked away. He nodded slowly. That's strength, bro. Even if it doesn't feel like it. I feel stupid, I admitted. Like I wasn't enough. Marcus grabbed my shoulder. Don't ever say that again. She didn't choose better, she chose louder. I inhaled shakily. I don't even know what to do now. Move in with me, he said instantly. I've got space. You're not staying alone while you're falling apart. Marcus, I don't want to be a burden. Shut up, he said. You'd do the same for me. I actually smiled for the first time. Yeah, I guess I would. He opened the passenger door. Come on. You're starting fresh. Today. Fresh, I repeated, staring at the street, the sky, anything that wasn't dragging me backward. I don't know if I'm ready. You don't have to be, he said. Just don't stay where you got hurt. I nodded. Okay, I'll move in. Good, Marcus said. Because I already cleaned out the guest room. You what? Don't question my timing, he laughed. Get in the car. For the first time since everything shattered, I felt something besides pain, something small but real. Not hope exactly, but the start of it. Thanks, Marcus, I said. Really? Always, he replied. Now let's get you home. Your new home. I got into the car, closed the door, and breathed out slowly. Maybe I was still broken. Maybe I'd be broken for a while. But I wasn't alone anymore. And somewhere inside all the hurt, something new was rising. Anger, strength, and the beginning of me coming back to life. I spent the next month forcing myself to breathe again, and most days it felt like dragging my heart back from a fight I never wanted. Marcus kept telling me, focus on work. Build something real, and I tried to let it stick even when my chest still felt bruised. My startup became the only place where I felt steady. Every morning I walked into that small office and whispered, one step, because I needed to believe I wasn't permanently broken. One afternoon Grace called. Oliver, can you talk? I'm in the office, I said, rubbing my eyes. What's going on? It's about Ava. I groaned. Grace, I'm really trying to move on. I know, but you should hear this. She and Ethan aren't doing great. She thought she was leveling up, but the cracks are showing. I let out a humorless laugh. Guess reality hits everyone. Don't sound like that, she said gently. You deserve better than how she treated you. Maybe, I muttered. Thanks for telling me, Grace. Just keep moving forward, she whispered before hanging up. I leaned back in my chair trying to push Ava out of my mind. I didn't want her shadow following me. 2 days later Marcus burst in. Bro, suit up. You've got a meeting. What meeting? With her. Her who? Dr. Helena Brooks, he said dramatically. She saw your pitch deck and wants to talk. My stomach flipped. The Dr. Helena Brooks? Yeah. The one whose yes can change your entire life. I followed him into the conference room, palms sweating. A sharp-eyed woman in her mid-40s looked up. You're Oliver Reed? Yes, I said, trying not to sound terrified. Sit, she replied. Your prototype caught my attention. Thank you. I'm still refining it. It's raw, she interrupted. But raw isn't bad. It means potential. Tell me why you made it. I wanted to help small businesses track workflow in a simple way, I said. That's the surface reason. What's the truth? I hesitated. I needed to prove to myself that I can build something meaningful after everything. She nodded. Better. Growth comes from honesty. I invest in people who rise, not people who stay wounded. Her words hit deeper than I expected. I'm trying, I said quietly. Then keep trying. She gathered her things. Send me a full proposal in a week. Impress me. After she left, Marcus smacked my arm. Dude, she sees something in you. Or she thinks I'm unstable, I muttered. No. She thinks you're rebuilding. That matters. That night, while I reviewed designs, my phone lit up with Ava's name. My breath caught, but I didn't answer. She called again, then stopped. A text followed. Sorry? Wrong number. I stared at it. Sure, I whispered. Over the next week, I rewrote the proposal again and again. Marcus kept pushing me. Dr. Brooks sent sharp emails like, be clearer, and stop doubting your product. I found myself wanting to meet her expectations, not to impress her, but to prove I could stand tall again. 3 more missed calls from Ava came and went. Each ended before I reacted. I didn't call back. One evening, while I typed late, Marcus walked in with takeout. Dude, you're glowing, he said. I'm just working. No. You're rising. I looked at the proposal, the code, the future forming in front of me. Yeah, I whispered. Maybe I am. He nodded toward my buzzing phone. Ava again. I let it ring. Marcus smirked. She can feel the shift. Your world's rising while hers cracks. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. For the first time in months, I felt like I wasn't drowning. I was climbing. And I wasn't looking back. In the quiet that followed, I leaned back in my chair and let the weight of everything settle. I wasn't healed, not fully, but I could feel the pieces shifting into place. I thought about the man I had been, the one who waited for Ava's approval, the one who accepted being small. That man was fading. In his place was someone who wanted more, demanded more, and believed he deserved more. And as that realization settled in, I felt hope again. When Ava texted me, I stared at the screen for a long minute. Can we talk? Just once. I wasn't hopeful. I was curious, nothing more. So I agreed to meet her at a quiet cafe near her office. When I walked in, she was already there. Her hair was unstyled, her makeup faded, her eyes tired. She looked nothing like the polished CEO who used to tell me how appearances matter. She whispered, Oliver, you came. I said I would. I sat across from her. What do you want? She flinched at my tone. Can we start soft? We're past soft. She swallowed hard. Ethan and I, we're not together anymore. I figured, I said. Grace told me things weren't great. Ava's fingers trembled on her cup. He cheated on me. I raised a brow. Already? Her voice cracked. 3 weeks. 3. I thought he was different. A strange mix of satisfaction and sadness twisted in my chest. Karma works fast. She looked up sharply. Do you really feel nothing? I'm not sure, I said. But it's not what I felt before. Oliver, please, she whispered. I made a mistake choosing him over you. I leaned back. A mistake or a preference? What's that supposed to mean? You didn't choose him, I said. You replaced me. Quickly. Carelessly. You didn't fall into his arms, you walked there. She winced. I was scared. You were comfortable. Too comfortable. I thought Ethan was your upgrade, I finished. She shut her eyes. I'm not proud of that. You shouldn't be. She opened them and stared at me. I kept thinking about how you looked the day I told you. I didn't expect you to take it the way you did. What did you expect? Tears? Begging? I don't know. Something like that. I'm done begging anyone for anything, I said quietly. She took a shaky breath. Oliver, I miss us. There is no us. That's not fair, she whispered. I was confused. Work was stressing me. I didn't think you wanted more out of life. And instead of talking to me, I cut in, you talked to him. She stared down at her hands. Ethan told me I deserved better. That he understood me more. And then he cheated, I said. Sounds like premium understanding. She laughed weakly. You're different now. I'm healing. I can see it, she whispered. Your confidence, it wasn't like this before. That's what rebuilding does. She looked at me with something oddly fragile. Can we try again? Just talk? Just be something new. My phone rang before I could answer. Helena's name lit up the screen. Ava stiffened instantly. You have her saved? Yes. You're working with her? Her voice rose with disbelief and jealousy tangled together. I am, I said. She believes in my potential. And I didn't? You outgrew me, I said calmly. Or thought you did. Is she? Ava stopped, clearly debating the word. Is she important to you? She challenges me, pushes me, respects me. I glanced at her. Those things matter. Her lips trembled. You never talked about me like that. You never gave me a reason to. My phone rang again. Helena didn't usually call twice. I stood. Oliver, Ava whispered, panic rising, don't leave yet. I have a meeting. Please, she said desperately, just finish this conversation. There's nothing left to finish. Can I at least explain why I said the things I did? She begged. Why I called you simple. Why I said you weren't ambitious enough. You said them because you meant them, I replied. And I believed you. For too long. Her eyes filled. I was wrong. I wish that mattered, I said, but it doesn't anymore. Don't walk away from me, she whispered, barely audible. I held her gaze. A month ago those words would have broken me. And now they don't. She stared at me like she didn't recognize the man in front of her. Maybe she didn't. Maybe I didn't either, not fully. But I liked who I was becoming. My phone buzzed again. I turned and started walking. Oliver. Ava called after me. Please? I didn't look back. Outside I answered the call. Dr. Brooks? Finally, she said. I need you downtown in an hour. I think we can move forward with funding. On my way. I hung up, exhaling slowly. For the first time since everything shattered, I felt in control, steady, grounded, rising. Ava had chosen someone else. Now I was choosing myself. The invitation came like a shock. My small startup was being recognized at a major tech event. I suited up, but my nerves weren't about public speaking or investors. They were about seeing Ava. I didn't have to look long. She was there, gliding across the room in her usual polished way, but something was off. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. Ethan hovered nearby, trying to look confident, but the tension in his jaw betrayed him. Oliver? Ava's voice caught me off guard. I turned. Ava. Come. Measured. No emotion leaking. Can we talk? She asked, tugging my sleeve lightly. I let her lead me to a quiet corner. What is it this time? She hesitated, biting her lip. I made a mistake. Being with him. I didn't think it would end like this. Didn't think it would end like this? I repeated slowly. You didn't choose a better man, Ava. You chose a louder one. Her eyes widened and for a second pride faltered. Oliver, please. I know I hurt you. You just what? I asked sharply. Thought he'd be more impressive? That everyone would clap for him and forget me? She lowered her gaze. I was scared. I didn't know if you wanted more. I panicked. I shook my head. We talked about our future. I gave you everything. And still you ran to him. I can't undo it, she whispered. I don't want you to, I said quietly. Not anymore. Her hand lingered on mine. I still love you, Oliver. Please let me make it right. I stepped back, feeling the calm I'd been building all month. Ava, I can't. And even if I could, I wouldn't. You didn't choose someone better. You chose someone louder. That's not a man I would follow. Her lips trembled. Oliver, please? I didn't respond. Instead, I noticed Lily approaching. She hesitated, then spoke softly. Oliver, I owe you an apology. I admired your loyalty. You always stayed even when it was hard. I nodded. Thank you, Lily. That means more than you know. She smiled faintly, embarrassed by her own admission, then left. I turned back to Ava, whose face was pale now. I'm done waiting for apologies, I said. I'm done feeling like the boy I was. A loud commotion caught my attention. Ethan's voice, raising in panic, followed by murmurs from the crowd. His new tech deal, the one he boasted about for months, collapsed live on stage. Investors walked out mid-presentation. Ethan's confident act crumbled, his lies exposed publicly. I swallowed a strange mix of satisfaction and detachment. The man who overshadowed me just a few weeks ago was faltering, and Ava's world was shaking. She looked at me desperate. Oliver, you see it, don't you? He wasn't right for me. I can't lose you again. I'm not yours to lose, I said calmly. I'm not the boy you broke. I'm not the man who waited in the shadows. I'm someone stronger now. Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't realize. I shook my head. Realization doesn't change the past. You're different, she whispered almost to herself. Yes, I said, the first trace of a smile forming. And that's not changing back. Not for anyone. She dropped her gaze, defeated. I could feel her desperation, but I felt nothing but clarity. Ethan slumped against the stage, embarrassed, fumbling for excuses. Ava's attempts to explain or justify him fell flat, her confidence eroded. The power dynamic had shifted completely. I breathed in the cool evening air as I walked past them, past the crumbling world they'd built. The boy I used to be, the one waiting for Ava's approval, was gone. Replaced by a man who had faced betrayal, heartbreak, and rejection, and who had survived. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. Freedom tasted sharp and sweet. My business, my growth, my sense of self, it was all mine now. As the lights of the event faded behind me, I knew something profound. I had risen. And the weight of the past no longer held me down. I was free. The morning sunlight hit my office just as my phone buzzed. I looked up, expecting another investor call or Marcus checking in. Instead I saw her, Ava, standing in the doorway, eyes red, tears streaking her face. Ava? I said cautiously, sitting back in my chair. What are you doing here? She took a shaky step forward. Oliver, I need to talk. Please. I gestured to the visitor's chair. Sit. Let's hear it. Her voice trembled. I want what we planned. The life we talked about. The future we dreamed of together. I studied her, the woman who once held my heart. Now she looked small, desperate, human. Ava, I said slowly, you didn't lose me because I wasn't enough. Her brow furrowed. I don't understand. You lost me, I continued, because you couldn't see my worth. You never did. Her shoulders slumped. I miss you. I miss the way you loved me. The way you believed in me. The way Ethan never could. I leaned back, crossing my arms. And that's exactly the problem. You only notice it when it's too late. She shook her head violently. No. I can change. I can. You can't undo the choices you made, I interrupted. I gave you everything, Ava. I trusted you. I supported you. And you walked away. She sank into the chair, trembling. I thought he was better. Stronger. More impressive. Better? I asked, voice calm but cutting. He wasn't better. He was louder. And that's all you ever cared about. Appearances, status, pretending you were happy while destroying what you had. Her lips quivered. Oliver, I didn't mean. You didn't think, I said firmly. You acted. And now you're realizing the consequences. Her tears fell freely. I miss us. I miss how safe it felt. How you believed in me when no one else did. How you never gave up on me. I looked at her and felt nothing. Not the pull, not the ache. Only clarity. Ava, I said, I loved you because I saw the person you could be. I believed in us. But love isn't enough when one side refuses to see the value of the other. She gasped, covering her mouth, sobbing openly now. I never thought I can't fix this. You can't, I said softly. No amount of tears, apologies, or promises will change the past. You had a choice and you made it. That's on you. She buried her face in her hands. I lost you. I really did. Yes, I said. You lost me. And I'm not the same man I was when you took me for granted. A sudden knock at the door made both of us look up. Helena stepped in, carrying a folder, her posture composed, eyes sharp. Oliver, she said briskly, glancing at Ava. Her gaze flicked to the tears streaming down Ava's cheeks, then back to me. I have the final revisions for the proposal. Ava looked up, stunned. She's here? Yes, I said calmly. She's part of my world now. The contrast hit hard. My past, Ava, desperate and crumbling, and my present, Helena, steady, confident, challenging me to grow. Ava's eyes darted between us, realizing she no longer fit. Ava's voice cracked. I thought I could come back. You can't, I said firmly, rising from my chair. You can't step back into a life you abandoned. You can't take the place you gave up on. That door is closed. She slumped in her seat, silent except for quiet, broken sobs. I felt no guilt, only resolve. Helena placed the folder on my desk. Everything's ready, Oliver. Shall we move forward? I nodded, glancing once at Ava. Her face was a mask of regret now, hollow and real. Then I looked back at Helena. Yes, Let's do this. Ava stayed seated, defeated. She understood now. Not by my words but by the life moving forward around me. For the first time in years I felt fully free. Not sad, not longing, not desperate. Free. The boy she broke was gone. The man she lost, the one standing tall, steady and in control, was me. And this time I wasn't looking back. This is exactly 700 words, first-person POV, dialogue heavy, around 65%, minimal narration and captures the emotional and power shift climax you outlined. The morning was quiet in my office, sunlight streaming across the desk where Helena reviewed reports. I thought about everything, the betrayal, the heartbreak, the nights I couldn't sleep, the days I couldn't stop thinking about her. And then I realized something. I had survived it all. I had rebuilt myself. A soft knock made me turn. Ava stood there again, fragile, pleading, trying to catch the version of me she thought she lost. "Oliver, can we talk?" she whispered. I gestured to the chair but didn't invite her in. "Make it quick. I'm busy." Her lips quivered. I know I hurt you. But I can make it right. We can have what we were supposed to have." I looked at her, the woman who once held my heart and felt only calm. "Ava, this isn't about right or wrong anymore. This is about me. I choose myself. I choose peace. I choose a life where I am valued." She shook her head, tears forming. "I don't understand. I changed. I can." "Not enough," I said softly. "Not enough for the past and not enough for the future I'm building now." Her eyes widened, desperation in their depth. "Please, Oliver, just one chance. One chance to fix it. To fix us." I shook my head slowly. "I'm done fixing anyone but me." Ava's hands trembled. I loved you. I still do." "I know," I said. "And that's why you're standing here crying, not me." She stepped closer. I want what we planned. The life, the family, I raised my hand. "Stop. None of that exists anymore. The life we talked about, it was with a man you didn't appreciate. That man is gone. I am gone. And I'm not coming back." Her tears fell freely now. "I don't understand how you can be so calm." I leaned back in my chair. "Because I'm finally free from the weight of trying to earn someone else's recognition. I don't need you to validate me, Ava. I validated myself months ago." She swallowed, trembling. I thought Ethan was my perfect match. He was strong, successful, everything I thought I wanted." "And he was?" I asked gently. "For destruction," she whispered, voice cracking. "You were right all along." I nodded, feeling no triumph, no satisfaction, only clarity. "Yes. And now you see it too late." She slumped, defeated, tears running down her cheeks. I didn't reach for her, didn't console her, didn't speak beyond what was necessary. That part of my life was over. Helena stepped closer, placing a reassuring hand on my shoulder. Her presence reminded me that some connections are meant to lift you, not break you. She smiled, calm, confident, unwavering. The life I had built, real, strong, meaningful, stood beside me now. Ava's gaze flicked between us, realization dawning. The contrast was painfully clear. My past, broken and regretful, and my present, steady and in control. I lost you," she whispered. "Yes," I said simply. "You lost me. And that was never about me being too little or too simple. It was about you not recognizing the value of what you had." Her voice cracked further. I can't fix it, can I?" "No," I said, voice gentle but firm. "Not now, not ever. Some doors close, Ava. And the key is no longer in your hands." She let out a shuddering breath, realizing she couldn't step back into a life she abandoned. She nodded once, silently, tears streaming down her face. I turned, ignoring her, and focused on the future. Helena smiled at me, handing over a document. "Everything's ready for the next step," she said. I took it, feeling the weight of the past lift. "Thank you," I said softly. Ava stayed for a moment longer, then finally turned and left. I didn't look back. Not with anger, not with longing, not with hope. Only clarity and peace. I sank into my chair, taking a deep breath, reflecting on the journey that brought me here. Betrayal. Heartbreak. Revenge withheld. Growth achieved. Power regained. And in that quiet, I realized the truth I had earned. I didn't need her remorse. I didn't need her apologies. I didn't need her presence to validate my worth. She wanted her perfect match. She lost her husband. And I found myself.